What's cracking, everybody? My voice cracked. And welcome to episode 248 of the Good Kraken podcast. I am one of your hosts tonight, Ernell Pearson, alongside our baby boys, Good Kraken's very own DJ Simmons.
I'm
DJ,
here.
what is happening, dog? How are you?
I am chilling, man. It's just a regular Tuesday. I wanted to get a pop filter for this microphone, and the official like the same brand pop filter that works with this
Yeah.
is sold out. So I was like, you know what? Let me go get some cheaper. It arrives in the mail and it doesn't fit this, even though it says it does. Like
Damn,
it
dude.
barely
That's...
fits, and it smells really weird. And I have a weird thing with smells. I'm like, I
No,
mean, I
no,
can't wash
100%.
this thing.
100%.
I can't
dude.
wash this thing, dude. So I just.
What would you
left
order
it
it
away.
on? Actually,
Amazon.
better question. What was it sold out on? The right one.
Like Amazon.
Was it not? Okay. Yeah. What a fucking heartbreaker,
that-
man. Have you tried like Best
that's what
Buy?
I'm
Have you
saying.
tried finding out at Best Buy or something?
No, I haven't. I've
Oh
just,
yeah, Best
like,
Buy has a lot of first party crap for like streaming mics these days.
mhm.
What kind of mic do you have?
I just
anyways?
want one that'll be good with this because I don't want
The
just like,
HyperX.
Oh, is it the HyperX? Okay. Yeah, good choice. I know that's a pretty fucking popular
this?
microphone. Yeah.
this is a Audio Technica 2020.
Oh, is it?
Oh, even
Yeah.
better. Oh, Larry has the HyperX. Larry has a HyperX.
Oh, yeah,
That's
they
what
look
it was,
similar.
yeah.
Similar shape.
It sounds good though. I mean, like Audio Technica is going to be.
Yeah, this is a
an alright
USB
choice.
mic. Can you believe that?
Yeah, well, I mean, like even like Garrick's, for example, like the Wave. That's just a USB mic, and those are probably the best microphones we've heard.
Because
So
like
far
this version of this that's XLR is also really really good.
Yeah.
Oh
About
yeah,
the same
XLR or anything is gonna give you just a little bit better audio quality by default.
Yeah, I'd like to get Genesaw, the next microphone that we dish out, and then after that, let's get DJ clubbed in because DJ sounds good. He sounds good. Like he sounds good enough that he can do.
Yeah, I just pop, dude.
Yeah, you do pop a bit. You do pop a bit, and I'm sure like you've heard it like on our episodes, like listening back and stuff. But,
Yeah, a little bit.
and it's something that like I'm hoping that like can be easily fixed, the pop filter, and you don't have to do like the screen kind because that shit's annoying. But
Wait, which one? Like
the attached screen, like the circle screen, on it, that'd be obnoxious. Nobody likes those. Not,
wait,
not
really?
for
Those aren't
podcasting.
good?
The Wave one, well, it's not that they're not good. They do the job. They're just obnoxious because it's like in your face. You have to effectively treat them as sort of a like marker for how distant you are away from your microphone. And so like it takes away your natural impulse to like talk into your mic. Because you're just like you're fiddling with this big fucking circle in your face, and it's annoying.
I fucking hate them.
Oh yeah, it doesn't attach straight on. It just attached to the arm. You're saying?
Correct.
Like,
Yeah.
those ones.
Yeah. Like the one that like Garrick and Devin have for like the Waves. Those are awesome. Those fucking work great. Especially for what the Wave does. But for like a pop filter on like anything else, like besides like. Because these are the ones that you want. This is the shit that you want, baby, right here. Like these kind of like spongy, just slip it right over the top like a condom. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta pinch the top, and then you roll it on. You know what I mean? Pinch the top, roll it on.
Roll it on.
You roll it on, and then if you did accidentally the wrong side, I've heard you just flip it over, right? You just flip it over, and then you try again. That's what I've heard, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of flipping it over
That's
and
what he's
trying again, we have
Ayo.
my my comrade in arms, Garrick Bartholomew Eaton. Garrick, how are you today?
Dude, I just want this fucking cough to go away, man. I'm over
it's
it.
been a few weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been like about a week now, maybe a little longer than that. I had bronchitis, and it's like it's going away. Like I can tell it's getting better, but it's like lingering, and it's just being a hoe. Fuck you, cough.
I hate when I get an infection on my bronchiosaurus too.
Yep.
Bronchio.
Yeah, no,
Same. This is a typo.
nail on head there, brother. You got it. 10 out of 10. I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I try real hard. I try real hard. Well, I mean, like, is your body like feeling better, or is it just the cough that's sort of left over? Or?
I still have some like pressure in my chest and definitely some shortness of breath, which is irritating because I walk a lot for work, and I find myself like, I definitely I've been getting to that point every day where like as I'm walking, I'm also coughing, and there's nothing I can do about it because I have shit to do.
So you're just hacking
And
while walking around.
yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. And so, and of course, like I'm in a school building, so I'm fucking wearing a mask, so I'm not making like everybody else and their fucking mom sick, and I'm fogging up my glasses the whole time because I'm coughing into a mask. Dude, it's just a bad time because I can't see or do shit. And also, that we're just talking about school just reminded me,
Okay.
bro, these kindergartners this year, man.
Yeah.
These
do it.
motherfuckers, dude, they're feral. They're feral kindergartners.
Yeah.
Straight the fuck.
Like
No,
Lord
you
of
don't
the Flies,
understand.
like Lord of the Flies style, or are we talking like
Almost like
Yeah.
not quite
Oof.
that bad,
Okay.
but dude, they're just like they're feral. It's like herding cats. I found one in a display case in the hallway the other day.
in the display case for like
In
trophies and
the-
stuff?
Behind the glass.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
So you left him there, right? You left him there to fend for himself.
Yeah, exactly. We just figured
yeah.
they'd be part of the decor after a little while.
Yeah, exactly. Lights out.
Dude, but like, yeah, honestly, this kid, like, I don't even understand how this particular kid is able to wander about the school as much as they are, but they
Wait,
can't.
hold
Dude,
on. You're making it sound like this isn't the first time you found this kid somewhere he's not supposed to be.
No, dude,
Holy
it's not.
shit.
It's fucking not. I was walking around the building today because like the head office secretary was like, "Hey, can you go find one of the admin? Like, I have 2 students down here that are being, fuckwits. I literally saw them, and they were in fact being fuckwits, and they needed to be dealt with. And so
What does that mean? You take him out?
yeah, they need to be
They need to be dealt with.
No, we just needed admin so we can call home and shit. Because like they were fiddle farting around, and yeah, exactly. And exactly. And dude, and so they're like, "Hey, will you go find the admin?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I got you. Be right back." And like,
Why does that even sound ominous? The admin, like it sounds like something like out of the Matrix, where it's like the admin is the person you find for all your answers.
It sounds this way because I am being professional and using very vague terms.
The admin.
I'm not referring to anyone specifically.
Of course,
right? So that's why it sounds ominous.
I like it. Okay, continue. Sorry.
But like, just to paint like a little bit of a picture, my school is kind of an L-shaped, but like imagine if like the bottom part of the L had like a fat ass. Okay? Okay? Like, so an L shape.
So like the L is like this, right? The L is like this. Is this the fat ass? Or is this the fat ass?
That's the fat ass.
So it's just a thicky L.
Thick. There you go.
So
okay,
it's a B?
you've done it. No, oh yeah, I guess kind of that would be a B.
Damn.
As a matter of fact, I didn't think about it that. I didn't think about it that way.
Imagine being so thick you're a different letter, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, So yeah, from the inside, it's 100%. It's a B. It don't look that way from the outside, but it's a B.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
But like, and so now the kindergarten, like the pod area where all the classrooms are housed for that grade, is like at the tippy corner of the fat end of the B, if you will.
This corner, the tippy
Correct.
Corner. Okay.
Now, the 6th grade pod where I randomly fucking found her was at the tippy top of the other part of the L and also upstairs. Yes.
Right.
This
Yeah.
this kid, I don't even understand how this kindergartner got where they got.
Like, were there there's no teachers or anything wandering the halls at any point
That's
or
what
another?
I'm fucking saying. I was just like, at what point did none of you people see the small human wandering about the school unsupervised and thought, yeah, that's where you're supposed to be? Nobody?
Like, there's a whole section of the school that they had to like stealth their way through to get to that other point.
A large section of the school and a flight of stairs.
Like, hear me out though, right? Hear me out though, right? What if this kid isn't a kid? What if this kid is something more? You know what I mean? Like, nobody saw him because he wasn't to be seen.
It's been this kid in particular has been very interesting, and we'll follow this kid this year. We'll keep you updated.
Okay.
About this particular kid.
Can we give this kid a nickname? Can we give this kid a nickname? I feel like he's deserving, because if we're going to be coming back and referring to him again, we need to identify this child. Xander says
let's
Chet.
brainstorm.
Xander says Chet. I'm okay with Chet. I'm okay with Chet. We could, as Pedro Pascal was once said, it can be better. It can be better.
I think it can. I think Chet's not bad, but I think it can. I think it can be better. Let's see.
Drax says zip. Drax says zip. I want to say something cooler.
So I have something that just kind of comes to mind because of the kid.
Okay.
So we're just gonna call this kid Puddles.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Puddles. All right. Quick backstory behind that, please.
Dude, it was honestly kind of a wholesome moment, but like the second day of school, this particular student was like outside in the playground. Dude, big field, 2 different play areas, lots of places to play. Where did Puddles decide to play? The one and only wet spot on the entire field, dude. And like, it couldn't have been like more comedic timing, because I was literally like, I saw them. And you know how like kindergartners are kind of built like tater tots?
With cheese or no? Like, he's not like raw.
This particular kindergartner is with cheese, actually.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, like that.
I'm picking up.
You're picking up what I'm putting down.
I
Okay.
got you.
Yeah, this particular kindergartner is built like a tot with cheese. Bless their little heart. And so like they do that thing where they like squat to jump, but like they're so small already that their whole body's involved.
It's like the big block guys in Mario. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And so like you saw like the preparation squat, and like I saw it from a distance while I was out at recess one day, and I was just like, wait, no. And like no sooner was I like, don't do that. Dude, like literally feet in puddle, the white kicks, dude, I was fucking immediately upset. And then dude, just this kid just whoop, straight ass first into this mud puddle, bro.
Oh no.
And I'm like, second day of school, and I'm just like, I know we don't have a change of clothes for this kid. So I walk over to this kid, and I'm just like, did you fall in the puddle? And they're like, yeah, I really wanted to jump in the mud puddle because Peppa Pig likes to jump in the mud puddles.
Wow.
And then they go, but Peppa Pig is always wearing their boots when they're jumping in the mud puddles. And I look down at this kid and their muddy little white kicks, and I go, were you wearing your boots today? And they go, no, I was wearing shoes though.
But you guys at home are wearing your boots today, because today we're talking finish them. Payday, but not today. I'm back and better than ever, and much, much more, including puddles, because this is the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that Puddles wants to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. I'm saying it mostly so I can remember the name because I feel like if I don't say it enough times to like calibrate that, I'm gonna forget.
I'll remember 100% just because I interact with this particular student like pretty frequently.
I just want to make sure that when you refer to him as Puddles, I'm not gonna have a moment like a month later and be like, "Who the fuck is Puddles?
Fair.
What the fuck?" Like, you know what I mean? So,
Puddles is interestingly enough. I bet you I could probably have like at least a blip every other week.
I like that. I like that a lot. If you're riding this wave, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics to the show, get exclusive content, and soon have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea.
Yarg.
But if you've emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You can watch us record this show live right here at twitch.tv/Good Kraken Show. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. DJ.
Prime Gaming. Sign up now.
Would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you that are listening or watching at home. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Dracula in chat. Wait, can we call it a puddle splash every time we get an update? Ooh, a puddle splash. I do like that. A puddle splash. A little puddle splash. Garrick.
An impromptu segment, if you will. What?
We have some captain's orders, my friend. Guys, you can catch our most recent episode of the Good Kraken podcast, aka me and Devin's top 10 Nicolas Cage movies. Over on youtube.com/Good Kraken Show and your podcast service of choice. Yes.
I need to know number 7. Tell me number 7 and number 7 only. Which one made number 7?
Shit. I can't remember off the top of my head. Hold on. I can fix this. I can find out.
But only number 7, because I don't want to spoil anything else.
Only number 7.
7.
I can.
Just 7 as just to wet the palate. I want to know where you people stand.
I can find out. Kick-Ass.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Was in that.
That's interesting. Me too. Which is why that's interesting. If you want to know what else is on the list, you got to go watch the episode.
You should have to. You sure do. And yes, please go check that out. Let us know if you fuck with Nicolas Cage and whether or not you agree with our list. There's some controversial takes.
Our lists always have those.
At least a couple, right? Like
right.
DJ, if you don't like the smell,
dude, I'm like doing everything I can to make this smell better, and it doesn't. I just went to soak it in like water and soap, and it
didn't help. It didn't help.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no like, what is this thing made out of?
Try doing like a.
What if I put it on right now?
Apple. Oh no. Okay, here, let's try it.
You're not pinching or rolling, dude.
Yeah, man, you gotta pinch it and roll.
Put this thing on. I pinch it and roll.
I just told you.
You gotta pinch the tip and then you roll it down. You know what I'm saying?
Pinch and roll. Do I need to go get a banana?
What are you talking about?
No, don't do roll. You're not actually pitching, you're rolling it. Just put it on like a sock. Just put it on like a sock, DJ. You're going the right direction. You just gotta be careful. There you go. Put that on right. Just like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Dude,
it's still a little bit wet.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's what she said.
You know what I'm saying? Just a little.
We're veering into shipwreck energy.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Is it on?
It is on. I mean, we can hear you loud and clear, DJ. Can you hear us?
Popsicles.
It's a much better pop. Pops.
What about S's?
Try it.
Hiss.
Yeah, that's much better.
Say hiss.
Yeah,
dude, this thing still smells, and I say
Bobby Billiken.
Bobby Billiken.
Yeah, that's a lot better. It's a lot better. Yeah, good choice. Okay. Good choice, man. Guys, let's move into our next segment. DJ, tell them what we're doing next.
Well, Ernell, everybody listening, watching, here, prepare yourself. This is hands on deck, baby. Putting the hands on the deck. All hands, every
Yeah,
All
hand on
hands
deck.
Yeah.
on the deck right now. Guys, we have a couple of things that these gentlemen here have been playing. We're going to start out with our man DJ, who has,
Sure.
since last week, been playing a lovely game. It's lovely is the word for it. A lovely game
Lovely game,
known
sunshine and rainbows.
as Mortal Kombat 1. DJ, tell the folks at home about it. What has your experience been like with MK1 so far?
Yep. Mortal Kombat 1, the soft reboot yet again for the series. This time, the Mortal Kombat timeline has been reset with all your favorite characters, but this time made in Liu Kang's image. So, if you guys didn't know, in Mortal Kombat 11, it's the canon ending. Spoilers is Liu Kang is he wins, he kills the Keeper of Time, and then he becomes the Keeper of Time. And then this game is based off of what he molded into this new timeline. And
Okay.
so we have a cast of recurring characters that are different now. They're made in Liu Kang's image, so their story is slightly different, and some characters even kind of change. Some characters are good, or mostly every character created in Liu Kang's image is supposed to be good, and if they're not good in previous games, they're kind of made obsolete,
Okay.
if that makes sense within the world. Um, but yeah, this is another Mortal Kombat game. But the visuals here are insane. This game looks really good. I
It
play
looks
this on
so
PC.
good. It looks so good,
Um,
dude.
and it looks really, really, really nice, and it's very smooth. I do have to say, playing through the story, uh, there's these like seamless transitions between cutscene to fights.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but that's I don't know if it's just my SSD or if it's just a thing with PC. But you'll see like a little loading coin token at the bottom during these cutscenes, and they'll kind of load as the game's going on, and so like the subtitles kind of lag behind. And sometimes even if the next fight needs extra time to load, it'll even just go to a black loading screen, and then you'll transition to the fight.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if this is a problem on PS5 or Xbox Series S. From the looks of it, I've seen gameplay. It looks pretty smooth. Like it's just actual, just smooth transition. Like just it loads smoothly. I don't know if it's just my system or my SSD, but it was prevalent in mine. Some like it would sometimes be smooth, but then sometimes it would like freeze to load, like go black screen to load, and then it'll come back. Um, so it kind of broke up the pacing a little bit for me. Um, the story, however, is really good. I did not expect uh the direction the story was going to go. I didn't expect how NetherRealm Studios was going to present this new timeline. I thought maybe it was just like a real hard reset, and you will just see the world open up as this new timeline. But I will say that there are implications in the story that tie into previous uh, timelines, including games like way back.
Sorry,
So,
Twitch.
uh, yeah,
I said sorry, Twitch.
yeah. Um, but yeah. So, but you don't need to play the earlier ones to understand. You can actually just play this solo. They kind of explain a lot of things, and the way the story is presented, you can kind of understand and get the context of what's going on without having to know, uh, without having played the previous installments.
Okay.
So, uh, but it's a fighting game, and you want to know about how it feels to fight. Um,
But
yeah or no?
but before you do, have you ran credits on the story yet?
Yes, I have completed it.
Okay,
And
okay,
I've
okay.
gone to there's an end game actually This replaces the MK11 collection mode, which in MK11 you pilot, like you basically control this unnamed character into Shang Tsung's temple,
Okay.
and you like unlock chests for collectibles, and go through like this is kind of a separate mode, and adds a little bit of lore and stuff like that. In this one, the mode is invasion. Um, I'm not gonna get into it because it does spoil the end of the game,
Okay. Okay.
but um, it is from what I can tell, this is how they're gonna do seasonal content for the game. Um, and it's a great way for you to level up your character and like you level up your different characters and experience the game post story. Uh, with the fighting feels really good. I'm not a big MK guy. I'm more of a Tekken guy, but I do enjoy the characters in Mortal Kombat, and this fighting feels fluid. Feels very fluid. I could pick it up just like that. Like it doesn't feel jarring to learn some of the moves. Um, I think Mortal Kombat in general has always been more accessible, especially the recent releases of the games. I think it's more accessible. For returning Mortal Kombat players, this might feel a little slower than
It does.
MK11.
It does. Yeah.
Um, but I think if you're really good at the game and you know your combos, you know your strings, or once you start learning them, I think the game, like the fights, pick up pace when you start when you learn those things. If you are not a big fighting game person, it might feel slow because, especially during the story, because sometimes the characters you control won't have all of their moves. Um, but when you get to these fighters and you learn their moves, it might feel slow, but it's also rewarding learning like their special moves, and you can still chain together a few good combos, button mashing. So the combat feels really, really nice. I enjoy it a ton. Even playing like different characters I wouldn't expect to like Smoke. I didn't expect to like Smoke that much,
Hmm.
but he is kind of like the meta right now in the online play. Like
He he
he's
feels really
really,
he feels
really
really
good.
good, dude. Like his combos
Feels
chain really
really
well
good.
together.
Uh, uh, Returning character Lee May. Lee May feels really fun to play.
God, I get
Um,
my ass rocked by her like a lot.
really,
Yeah,
it
she
it
fucks me up real
it,
hard.
it she's really fun, and the effects, and like the sounds like during these fights, it feels visceral, feels guttural, and it feels nice to play, and I don't feel any frame dips or anything with single player content in the campaign. And well, I'll get to online in a second. But overall, like with the story and campaign and the evasion mode, this feels really, really good. And I find myself thinking about playing it outside of outside of the computer. So
Okay, okay,
yeah. And
okay.
and the game hasn't, and the fighting game hasn't made me do that since like Tekken 7. So this is getting a lot of high praise from me. However, the online play is a struggle.
Just as
Uh,
toxic as ever.
it's not as toxic. I think it's more the performance of online play. Getting a lot of
Okay.
frame dips and lag.
Mm,
This
mm.
is the problem with. I mean, it's like a kind of a recurring problem with a lot of fighting games. It's a lot of people, since it's more of a accessible genre of video games. A lot of people are on like worse internet connections.
Yeah.
Um, so but the game doesn't do a lot to mediate this. So sometimes your inputs just go in like 1 second, 2 seconds late,
Hmm.
and it just
Wow,
almost
that's a
feels
lot.
unplayable. That's yeah. And I've heard from multiple other people on Twitter, saying like, yeah, like that's what they're experiencing with some of these fights, and the online's kind of unplayable. So until they fix it, I don't know if they fixed it yet. I don't know if they initiated like a hot fix or anything,
Hmm.
or something with the servers. but it needs to be better. But if you don't like playing online because you know you're gonna get your ass beat, the campaign and invasion mode is more than enough. And also there's versus mode and local battles, um, so you can if you wanted to battle your friends or something like that, it's also there for you as well.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, man, this is this is surprisingly pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Fighting game players or FGC players are eating this year, or no?
Yeah, so I kind of just wanted to chime in just a little bit before I kind of like toss the ball to Garrett to kind of like field some questions. I played probably 2 hours of it. Not a lot, not enough to really like know a whole lot, and I definitely only scraped the campaign because my attention was still so deep into Starfield at that point, and then transitioning now to Cyberpunk. Like it's a lot, but I definitely experienced a lot of that smoothness that you're talking about too. Like the sound design is fucking stellar in this. Like unbelievably stellar. The sound design's fucking cool in this game. What I want to ask you though is I noticed that, like, fighting games have kind of been coming more into their own as far as bringing back a lot of arcade style stuff that was beloved way back in the day and even up to, somewhat relatively recently. I saw in the trailer and have heard from people that they brought back a lot of mini games and, like, things like that used to be pretty big, key Mortal Kombat classics. Have you got a chance to dink around with those? Have you like done tower mode at all?
In the story, of course, like the test your might stuff, is back, even incorporated into the story. So, instead of like some quick time events, they're replaced with, or where you would think there'd be a quick time event, it's replaced with test your might. I mean, it's basically a QTE.
Yeah.
But it's still there. And the invasion mode I was talking about, it works like Mario Party in the sense that there's just you travel per node.
Oh,
You know
we
what I
did see
mean?
that. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you travel per node, and basically there's like battles. There's either a battle at each node or a chest, or even full on towers. Um, with MK towers, which I don't know if you were familiar with those.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be different, like 4 or 5 battles you can do, and basically it's just there to collect gold to continue on with this like invasion story, and also just level up your character. And you can also switch uh characters before you fight as well.
Oh, okay.
So you choose one fighter and a cameo, and you could choose, and also I believe it affects some fights, and some different like mini games. If you have like a blood character or whatever, you get more resistances to it. I haven't explored it too much, but it's very interesting little concept. And also,
Okay.
once you get through more to the invasion, like through these different maps in these nodes, you can also, after a battle, you could also fight a secret battle. Like some secret battles show up, and there's also ambushes. So like as you're traveling through the nodes, you could also get ambushed, uh, and another fight will ensue. And it's fun. I enjoy it.
Okay. Good to know, man. Garrett, we probably got time for one big question that you might got.
Yeah, man. I think it's like an important question to ask with any fighter. But how's the roster?
The roster is pretty good. It's not. I don't think
agree.
it's as loaded
I agree.
as
Yeah.
as like other fighters like Street Fighter or Tekken. Or Street Fighter's not too loaded, but it's big enough. But Mortal Kombat's roster is pretty solid. I find myself looking at most of the characters and seeing like, I don't see any character that I don't like. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like there's
yeah.
always some characters in fighting games that you're like, I would not go for that at all. It just like you look at it as like that doesn't seem fun to play.
Yeah.
I can see with every fighter that like some fighters I'll be like their fighting style is not for me, but I can see that being fun for somebody.
That's me with
You know what I mean?
Baraka. Fucking hate Baraka.
Yeah, like I can see that being fun for somebody, and I won't like discount them for playing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The full roster's pretty solid.
Do you
Ashra is nuts.
Oh, sorry. Don't mean to interrupt. Do you unlock more characters via the campaign?
No, actually, all characters are given
Open roster.
Actually, no.
Because you start with like
forgot.
2
Yes,
rows.
you do. So
basically. Okay.
So I think you unlock the ability to customize them through the campaign.
Oh,
I think. I think
right.
it's open roster to like you can play outside the campaign. And you can try the whole roster.
Okay.
But I think there's a little bit of character customization, and they were grayed out for me in the beginning, and then I played the story, and then they were there.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that once you get through the story and you find these characters, you'll be able to customize them. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. I don't exactly remember.
Does that include the cameo characters?
I didn't check the cameo list when I watched.
Okay.
But there's a large portion that are locked for me still after beating the campaign. So I think those are just the deluxe edition of the
potentially.
game.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I didn't know
because the ones that are locked for me are like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and stuff that like people that already show up in the game. If that makes sense.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, DJ, do you have a final score for this? I mean, you've ran credits. I assume that you've played a good amount of this game now to kind of have a full-fledged opinion on it as our lead reviewer. What are you giving this?
I was bouncing in between 8.5 to 9, but I think I'm going to give it the 9.
Okay.
I think the online play not working as intended or just not as polished as I would like kind of knocks it down, but I know for a fact that it's going to get better because, NetherRealm Studios usually listens to their audience base and will work to fix that. But everything else in the game works perfectly fine. And besides that loading screen issue I was talking about, but it didn't break the game experience for me. It just took a second longer to load.
Yeah.
And didn't seem as seamless as they wanted to present it as.
Okay.
And yeah, it runs really nice. I played this game on high, didn't have any frame rate issues. Besides like some cutscenes. There's some cutscenes at the end, I think they were just rendered in 30 frames per second. And it just got a little tricky because there's a lot of moving parts and stuff on the screen. Because the ending's kind of pretty big. So you'll notice that if you're on PC. I can't speak for console. I think console is probably the smoothest experience. I think if you
it was pretty smooth for the little bit amount of time that I played. Because I mean, even those like transitions, like when you're like you go from picking the characters,
you didn't get any like black loading screen, and then like
it would have a second where because when you pick the map, the characters clash, and then they have a moment to like say something to each other, and then it seamlessly goes into the beginning of the fight.
That works. That still works for me. I think but
it's probably the campaign that's really with that. Yeah.
Transitions. Okay. Let me know when you start the campaign. Let me know like if those pop up for you. If they don't, then that means it's just a me thing and not a game thing.
Yeah, no, the
story is really good. The narrative's really good. The characters you meet again have really funny dialogue and really, really witty and really good. Besides Megan Fox as the Tara. She has like one good line, and I was like, wow, she can do it. But
she's got it in her. She's got it in her, but not all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I'll give this Mortal Kombat 1 a 9 out of 10.
There you go, folks. There you go. 9 out of 10 from Good Kraken, officially Mortal Kombat 1. Now we're gonna move straight into the game that Garrick and technically Xander have been playing, but Garrick here as our lead reviewer.
I've also played.
Oh, and you played too? Okay, great. So that's
I
it'll
think
be
everybody, quite a few people have played a little bit of this.
wow. I'm really the left out one, huh? Okay, Garrick and DJ and Xander and apparently Devin and Genesee and Raven have all been playing a game
And Geo
called
and
yeah, Payday 3. Payday 3 is what Garrick's gonna be talking about. Garrick, take us off, my boy. What are the thoughts on Payday 3?
Payday 3. All right. So basically the plot of this. So I will tell you guys up front right now. This is my first Payday game I've ever played. I've never played another Payday game.
Okay.
I know it's a popular franchise. I know how beloved Payday 2 is. Um, but I am just kind of reviewing this from like a really fresh outside perspective. So if some of my takes are weird, it's because I don't have the history of the franchise to play anything off of. So I apologize for that in advance.
Okay.
If that upsets you, I don't care. Um,
Sure.
but anyways,
I like that.
Payday 3. From what I understand, basically following the events of Payday 2, your crew retired. Your crew is coming out of retirement here, and you are getting back into the heist game. This version of Payday 3 features 8 heists available from the jump on several different difficulties, and you can play single player with bots, make a private lobby with one up to 4 friends, and play it with randoms up to your heart's content with full cross-play when the servers are working.
Oh boy. Okay.
So which I will get to in a second. But first, we'll talk about the gameplay loop. So essentially, you are you're stealing the money and pew pewing police officers a whole lot. That's basically the long and short of this game. And you're using all of this money to buy firearms and upgrade firearms, and then buy new masks to hide your identity to go steal more money and pew pew more police officers. And
ACAB, baby.
rinse and repeat. That's the whole game. That's the whole game.
For 12.
And yeah, so basically the first mission starts you off with like a pretty much you're like in broad daylight, you're robbing a bank. And you are kind of like you're stealthing through the mission, and the game presents itself. It's like, okay, you go into case mode, and like you and your crew drop into the level. You are figuring out what the fuck's going on. Okay, how are we approaching this? What's our objective? How are we tackling this? What's going to be our line of approach, etc., etc. You are then, kind of taking the steps to like basically like break down the security of whatever you're doing to be able to get into the vault or behind the glass door, etc., to access the cash, all while trying to keep your presence from the police officers on the DL for as long as possible. Shit will go sideways. It's not like it's a when shit will go sideways. And at that point, you are trying to bag the cash as hectically as possible, keep you and your crew alive while fighting like just waves and waves of police officers. It's getting progressively more crazy, and and then you start getting, of course, like these like outlandish like SWAT style cops that have like ridiculous abilities and stuff like cloaking tech and all that sort of thing.
Wow. Okay.
And it gets chaotic and fun. Honestly, the gameplay loop is very simple. From what I understand, this has less heists available. Payday 2 had 13 from the start. This only has 8. From the 3 that I've experienced thus far, I've had a great deal of fun, like even rerunning the heist from different perspectives, just to up my cash flow and earn new weapons and like level up and stuff. I'm just having fun, just kind of approaching the game. It's chaotic, it's fun. You're kind of like live firing with your team, especially when you've got a group of 4 friends together, and you guys are actively trying to kind of role playing it a little bit. You're like, all right, we need to take care of the next objective, and like, all right, like we did one example, like we took on the bank mission, and I walked into the bank and we started casing the joint, and I start like running around and I'm closing all of the blinds to the outside of the bank. Like that's what I just started. I don't have to do that at all. I just started doing it, right? Like I'm
But
just
it's
getting
cool.
set in the
Yeah,
mood.
all
But
right,
it's cool, right? And so like I'm setting the thing, and then eventually like we get caught, and like you mask up, dude, and you just start shouting at everybody, and like you can take the civilians as hostage, and you're like, get on the fucking ground, bro, and everybody shut the fuck up, and nothing bad has to happen to any of you guys. You get all
Don't
the
be a
civilians
fucking
on the
hero.
ground. Yeah, like nobody be a freaking hero, exactly, and like your characters are shouting like any heist movie dialogue you could possibly imagine is occurring right now, right?
Okay.
And like it really does do a good job of setting the tone. Now, I will say the AI is dumb as hell. It is really, especially on like the base difficulty of the game, it's really easy to kind of meander around that bank and get around the security guards and kind of make your way through it with pretty much very little ease. The cameras are a much more threat than the personnel.
Hmm.
I can't speak to later difficulties, but like definitely early on, and with my experience with some of the passive AI, especially during the non-combat moments when you're trying to like remain stealthy and stuff, it feels pretty easy to do that until you're like literally trying to swipe a card off the ass crack of a security dude, and he turns around and he's right there. Then you get caught. But otherwise, you feel like you're pretty much free to roam the building. So I will say the AI did feel pretty dim up from the on the stealth end of the gameplay approach. The police officers will fuck you up though, especially when you start getting into the later waves and like you're starting to get some of the special police officers. They will like box you in and won't let you escape. They'll pin you in with riot shields. A
There's
cloaker,
snipers
yeah,
outside as well.
snipers will like they'll start taking out windows, and they will actively fire at you from the outside of the building to the inside. There are these like cloaker guys that will literally they will run
Oh,
up to
dude.
you, and they will fucking dude, they will literally take you out at the knees and then just mollywop you to death.
Or they do like this roundhouse kick into your head and you knock you out instantly.
Yeah, dude, and they just start taking you down.
And they make the worst sound. It's like like this it's higher pitched like
Oh, dude, it's so stressful because like
It's
especially
scary.
if they get you from behind, you're like, oh shit, there's a fucking cloaker. Everybody fucking don't hurt me, bro. Like, I'll surrender, God, I'll go peacefully. Shit. Get off me. So that part is great. And essentially like you like I said, like you're completing your heist, you're getting X amount of cash based off of how many civilians you were able to successfully keep alive, because we're not going on a murder spree here. The funny thing is though, is if you kill a civilian, you're the only motherfucker that pays for it. Your crew doesn't. It's true bank heist rules.
Wow.
So like if you kill a civilian, you pay the cleanup fee for the said civilian. It doesn't come out of any of your party members' dues. So if you want to be that
Yeah, used
asshole, you're not screwing your crew over for just being that guy.
That kind of sucks to me in a weird way. That kind of sucks. DJ.
I was gonna say, like, also with the civilians, you can take them hostage, and so the police come in waves, so you don't just trickle in, and so there's like this little grace period before they attack, and they'll let you know, so you can actually trade hostages for time.
Yeah.
You can trade hostages after time,
okay,
or
that's pretty cool.
you can also trade for resources. So let's say
Yep.
if you spent all your health packs and your ammo packs, you can actually trade hostages for more health, and they'll drop health for you, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, I was gonna say, so these heists play out two different ways actually. So if you can fully stealth that first bank heist, I know that for a fact.
Of course. Yeah, that first one, absolutely, yes.
Fully stealth it. If you fully stealth it, you have no problems. It doesn't get hectic. Like you feel like you just pull out like an Ocean's 11, dude. You just fucking you get the shit. You get the fuck out. But if you do get caught, that's when shit turns to 11, because now you got to get thermite to burn through the vault, instead of just like finding the executive and like have him like fucking handprint and press the code in. So now you got to like find thermite bags and then set the whole thing up whilst police are coming in and snipers are setting up. And then you got to you got to trek it like heat style, like down the street to the van. and like throw bags of money to each other like some type of fucking
This
buddy
sounds
system
so
type shit.
fucking cool. This sounds so fucking
Yeah.
cool, dude. Like I'm
It's
like,
it's great. It's great. That's why I was so excited when I was like, it's coming to Game Pass. I was when you announced it. You guys are, dude, it looks bad. I'm
it
like,
did
dude,
look
you
bad.
guys don't
It did look
understand.
bad, dude.
You guys don't understand how this game works. It doesn't matter about the visuals. It's matter about the loop.
Yeah,
my-
and the visuals. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say my upsettedness here though is that just like, and I guess this kind of like leads into a question for either of you here. There's a fucking plethora of games I'm playing right now. What about this will pull me to play it over Cyberpunk right now, over Starfield right now, over Mortal Kombat 1 right now? Like, is this a game worth playing for me right now?
With the boys, yes.
With the boys, absolutely.
God
if you
damn
can
it.
get
God
a
damn
group,
it. God fucking damn
Look,
it. All right.
look, okay.
All right.
This game, we have had so much fun with this game when it has been completely functional. I have successfully been able to get 2 full groups together, and we have played for multiple hours without anybody leaving.
Okay. I
And
mean, Xander in chat says it. Like, is this a splash damage game? Is this a splash damage game?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure. Dude.
100%. Especially
okay.
because I know the kind of gamer that you are and how you approach these particular kinds of game. And it's missing some of like the tack shooter things like peeking and that sort of stuff. But everything else, like you can get your role play on, dude. Like you're on
like the
comms.
movie Heat, dude. It's literally the
You're
movie
literally,
Heat.
dude. You can gather up the hostages, shove them all in a room, so like everybody is safe and out of the way, so you're not going to be accidentally offing them. You can kind of prep yourself, dude. You get the thermite. Everybody gets into position. You start seeing the snipers roll in. You're like, all right, I got the stairwell, and you're like, I got like, they're like, oh shit, they're coming in through the fucking roof, dude. And then like you start hearing shots pop off, and then like the elevator door dings, dude, and you just yeet a fucking grenade through the open door and just like off 4 cops on the spot, and you're just like, open fire, and then everybody just starts letting loose, dude, and it's just insane. And then like literally you're like watching the thermite, the cops are sneaking around you, pulling the fire alarm to try to douse your thermite going through. You're out in the thing, you're like watching the thermite drops through, dude, and then it's game on. And then they send the dozer in, dude. They start sending in riot shields and shit. And you're dropping into the vault from this hole in the ceiling. And you're like, all right, everybody, you're like, you one dude's picking the lock on the vault door, and then everyone's popping the rest of these police officers as they're coming in. You're like, pop, 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 pop. And you wait for it to settle down after you've picked the lock. And you're like, all right, everybody pick a bag. Everybody pick your stack. I'm going to open the door. We have 15 seconds to disarm these die packs, or the cash is fucked. Everybody, 3, 2, 1, go. You literally, you disarm the die packs, dude, and you're like, bag the cash, and then you're literally bagging the cash, and you like make a train, dude. You throw it to your homies. Everybody's walking the cash outside. You're like, book it to the alley, dude. You get to the alley, the cops throw the polearms up, dude, and now you got to disarm the polearm so your escape van can show up, right? So your escape van can show up so you can load in and get the fuck out of there, dude. And you're loading the cash in, popping freaking dudes. And then that doesn't even talk about the second mission, which is an armored vehicle that you're attaching, and you're like literally disarming it and drilling into it from the underside to access like rare material, like dude, components and shit. It's wild, dog.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, gameplay loop, amazing, incredible, super fun. Honestly, I've had so much fun when this game is working. I would forgo Cyberpunk this evening to play with you gentlemen after the show. I will say, though, full stop.
Yes.
There has been a singular moment every time I have tried to play this fucking game when the matchmaking breaks for hours at a time.
Oof. Okay.
And I don't mean like you can't like it, like dude, like invites aren't getting posted to they're not getting pushed through Xbox notifications. They're not getting pushed in game. You physically cannot even join a lobby all because Starbreeze chose this, and this is what they're claiming. Chose to use a third-party matchmaking system, and just before the game released, the matchmaking third-party company pushed an update that fucked their shit. Now, the last 2 times I have played, teams have been stable. I have had less issues, no problems. It's been like, now I will say, we all tried to do a match last night, and the matchmaking broke while we were trying to queue up. Okay.
Okay.
So, and this is happening consistently, and like, but it was happening consistently, and it's happened almost every day since the game released. Like, and like I said, we're talking hours, right? And so this released on the 21st, so it's been out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. It's been out 6 days, and most players have refunded the game.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay. DJ.
Yeah, and it's a big issue because even so this game is all online. You can play solo,
but it's
in a
still
private
you have
lobby,
to match
but
make
it is
into a private lobby.
you have to match make into a private lobby, and when the servers are down, you can't even do that. So when the servers are down, this game is literally unplayable. Absolutely.
That's rough. Okay.
Yeah. So and
it creates a very bad community state at launch, especially given how popular the second game is. Like at this point, the player base is kind of the mindset they're like, if you don't fix this, we're just gonna go back to the other fucking game.
Right. Rightfully so. Honestly. Sure, we can.
Good thing we got this on Game Pass and not Steam. Like I would have refunded this game too for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and like, absolutely. Yeah, it's been like the fact that it's an online only game, and like honestly, the server issues really have been my biggest complaint. But like, no joke, like I will assemble a squad full party, and then we will like fight for a half an hour to do a single heist because like somebody's not receiving a party invite, or the matchmaking is taking god awful long to queue, or somebody gets kicked while we're loading in, or just any number of things.
Or the crossplay is not working.
Or the crossplay stops functioning, and you literally have to, like, to get it to work, you have to disable it and then re-enable it. And, like, there's just, it's any number of things, but it all comes back to it's all online state and the servers being third party. And it just was kind of a dumb choice, in my personal opinion. And it really hurt what the game is. The gameplay loop is incredible. I really like playing this game. Even just, dude, everything I just told you was just from the first mission.
Yeah.
All I did was hype up.
That was just one heist,
all I did was hype up the first mission to you. I sold you on the first mission. The second mission is like it's like a Brooklyn Bridge like construction site where it's like all shut down, and like an armored truck rolls through and you like disable it with an EMP and escort it to a drill and then break into it and then load your freaking cash onto a damn chopper, dude.
Yeah, it gets like the highs get better and better the more like the next one you do.
Jewelry stores, art galleries, like high-end clubs.
Yeah.
That's bonkers. Yeah. It's also bonkers is thankfully in the year of our Lord 2023, I have successfully started my download of Payday 3.
Oh wow!
Yeah, via the phone. Let's fucking go, baby boys. Let's fucking go. Garrick, your score of Payday 3, my friend.
When everything is functioning really well and the game is just doing what it's supposed to, the game's graphics are not next gen. I will say that. Like when you walk up to those security guards, you're like, "What's up, Xbox 360 model? They haven't changed in a while." Right? Like it doesn't look awesome, right? But the gunplay feels snappy and good. The audio is great, which I feel is honestly a little bit more important in a heist game like this. Like it plays out really well. But the servers have had incredible incredible issues, to the point where like people will literally, so many of the majority of the individuals that have purchased this game have decided to refund it, and Starbreeze has respected that decision, because even they're just like, yeah, we understand, guys, this is not where we wanted to be either, but this is unfortunately kind of what happened and where we're at. Just because of like the server issues being as impactful to an online only game as there are, it's really going to hurt it for me. And I think this is going to give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Gameplay loop is incredible, but those servers have to be stable, or it's literally just a fucking, it's just 32 gigabytes on your hard drive doing fucking nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, for our lead reviewer, Garrick, that is a 7.5 out of 10 from our boy DJ. What would you give it?
If when everything's working, dude, this is easily 8.5.
Okay.
This is
okay.
When it's working. I agree with Garrick in this score. 7.5 seems.
Yeah, when it's working, I would definitely agree. Like everything's smooth sailing. Like if it would have launched with the stability I played it at the other day, 8.5 all the way. But like the fact that it's taken them like almost a whole week to even let most players like even get into the first mission of the game, that shit's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Totally reasonable. Well, boys, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I'm excited to play this game with you guys at some point or another. I don't know if I can do it tonight yet. But at the very least, tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow for sure.
We'll get to it.
For sure. Fucking down, baby boys. Well, gentlemen, let's go ahead and move into our headlining segment here. Garrett, could you please tell the people at home what we have rolling in next?
Absolutely. Look, shit's about to get real, about to get intense. The conversations will be happening. So you better protect your neck, because we're headed to the gallows.
The gallows. Gentlemen, today, for the gallows, our headlining segment tonight, we are talking the video game comeback conversation, boys. The revival, if you will. We are in, right now, a very interesting situation this week. If you will, and leading into tonight, technically, well, today, what have you, where we have a game that is making quite a big splash for its return to people's hearts, if you will. Cyberpunk 2.0, the 2.0 update has released, and it is unreal like how good of an update this is. They effectively changed almost the entire fucking game, short of the actual quest line, and even some of that they fucking changed. It looks better, it feels better, it has new systems, has new story beats, it has new vehicles, the way NPCs interact, like the fucking plethora, the list goes on. This game is different now. And this isn't the first time that we've seen this happen. We've seen this happen with No Man's Sky. We've seen this happen with Fallout 76. There's many games that we've seen come out, not quite be what we were hoping it would, and then quite some time later, not immediately, but quite some time later, it has picked up to a point where it's just done this complete 180 and has done everything it could to impress us nonetheless. With that said, to open up the platform for you two gentlemen here, to start out here with DJ, I want to ask you, my friend, obviously we've been playing Cyberpunk, you know what I'm saying, doggy dog? We've been playing some Cyberpunk 2077, dog. I'll tell you what, obviously this is the game that we wanted when the game came out. Do you feel that you give the game forgiveness now? And I know it's hard for us because we genuinely enjoyed this game on release. We did. But it wasn't perfect. Do you forgive this game? Do you forgive CD Projekt Red for their trespasses on release of this title?
Man, this is a tough one because I think that I can forgive, but I'm not forgetting it. I'm not forgetting the shit that they did.
Sure.
Because it is unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like, that's just there's people who never touched this game ever again
Yeah.
because of what they had to experience at launch. And luckily, I was one of the people that had very clean run through the game first time around. Um, and I had it on the SSD, so I didn't have a lot of the issues that other people had playing. But the game was advertised for last gen, I'm pretty sure, right? Last
Mm-hmm.
gen being PS4 and
Partially,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
I mean, like
Yeah.
they were seemingly pretty clear after release, immediately after release, of hey, you're not gonna have a good time on this on the last gen
Yeah.
consoles.
Yeah. And, I think that opens the conversation up a bit with this revival thing. Because although I'm glad that these games that you mentioned uh got their shine like they wanted, uh we keep having common this common topic come up whenever this happens. It's like, man, we always say if the game was like this on release. We've said that many a times. If the game was like this on release, if the game launched like this, it would have won game of the year. You know what I mean? Or it would have been amazing. It would have been probably the best game that year. You know what I mean? Like, we keep having this conversation, and I don't think we need to highlight it more because the game should have launched like this. This is what we were supposed to get. What was advertised to us 10 years ago.
Yes.
Because that's how long they've been hyping this game up, for 10 years. And even when we got to the date, it just didn't deliver. And I don't know what quotas developers have to meet or something. I don't know if it's like a publisher thing. I don't know if it's the executive decision. But I'm pretty sure if Cyberpunk got the time that they needed to let this thing cook in the oven a little bit more, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be having this discussion at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least about Cyberpunk, because it's just all of these games are just coming out incomplete. Like, they need an extra year or two even, because games are getting bigger and better, and like we can't just keep churning out AAA games every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like, I feel like some developers would say like the pressure is on from the consumer, but I think I would respect a development studio more if they said, "Hey, we need another year or two to let this cook." You know what I mean?
Well,
Because remember, they delayed Cyberpunk.
they did. Yes, they did.
They did. And even with that delay, just like 6 months, right? It was like half a year. It still came out a buggy mess. So I can't even imagine what it would have been like if they released it when they promised they did. You know?
Yeah, and the tough
It
part
would have
too,
been way worse.
The tough part too is that like we can't even like blame the devs for this, really, honestly, because this wasn't really a dev problem. It was a publisher problem. I mean, we see like the big top notch heads of these development companies, these studios, saying we need to get this out. We need to get this out. We need to get this out for X reason, whatever it is. I don't know. I'd like to be a fly, on the wall in those meetings to find out fucking why. But them being so pushy about rolling this thing out and then asking for forgiveness later seems very, I don't know, I guess distasteful is the best word I can come up with, because it's like this weird sort of catch-22 situation where they're like wanting to roll this game out ASAP, as quick as possible. Don't worry about shit right now. We need to get this out. We need to get it onto shelves because we need to make the money. Not realizing that they're not going to make money off of it if it's not the product that they're promising. And I just don't understand the thought process behind it.
I think it's the whole system, the whole system itself. Like, if we think about it, like, think about it from a business perspective. Like, you have investors, right? And those investors meet with the CEOs of whatever publishing company, and they're like, "I'm losing money, man. I bought shares. Like, all my shares are going down.
Yeah,
do something about it. CEO's like, all right, I'll do something about it. He heads over to his executives. Executives like, we gotta do something about it, dude. The fucking investors are on
and
my
they
end.
go, all right, I guess we'll do
And
something.
they're like,
about
all right, I guess we do some budget cuts. I guess we lay off some people. I guess we push the game forward. Tell the development team to make a trailer.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like create some buzz. And it's just it sucks because I know because like gaming is such an art form, and I know a lot of developers just want us to play their games. Like they, you know, it's I'm not gonna say it's like an honest industry. I know there's people in there just for the check, but most developers really want us to experience like some
Of
new shit
course,
and play games. But I think just the industry as a whole just needs to change up or something because what these game revivals tell me is that these executives and CEOs and these investors they don't care anymore about if the game does well because eventually they can just patch it up. You know what I mean? Eventually you can just release a game in a broken state and be like, "Oh, whoops. We'll work on it." And then it'll take a year or two and now the game's in a playable state and then people return and then they eventually get their ROIs sorted and shit like that,
And then 10 years later, the game will be playable according to some studios.
Yeah.
It is interesting. Yeah, and I definitely riding in that same boat with you there. It's pretty disheartening. Garrick, my question to you, my friend, in relation to that, do you see it getting better or worse? Yeah.
Worse.
Yeah.
Like if you want like my genuine and honest opinion, I don't see us subverting from this release pattern of video games anytime soon. It's become just too commonplace, and when it started, I would say there was a pivotal point when this became something that was acceptable to do in the industry, and it was when triple A games were able to do it and make it successful, right? Because No Man's Sky is an independent studio. That is not a triple A title.
Correct.
That is
Yes.
an indie game all
Yes.
day long, right?
All day long. Yeah.
CD Projekt Red, that's a triple A studio, right? They have large financial backers, like we have expectations. Bethesda, same thing. Large AAA studio. We have expectations. Square Enix, EA, same thing, right? Like, so you kind of got to look at it from this lens of like our first real big success in the game revival was No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky kind of did the thing first.
Yeah.
I would say Final Fantasy 14 kind of really was right behind it, but it took a very different approach to it.
Yeah.
Because No Man's Sky, they patched the game, right? And they kept patching the game, and they kept patching the game, and they kept patching the game, and they're still patching the game.
Yeah.
And now it's not even fixes; it's just content rollout, right? Like it is now the product that they advertised it to be, and then some, because we've gotten so much additional since it reached the state in which the player base of the game was originally marketed towards became happy. And then you look at something like Final Fantasy 14, right? A Realm Reborn. This game shit the bed so hard. Square Enix said, "We're so fucking sorry. We're gonna turn it the fuck off and just redo it."
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Right?
Yeah, they
like
fucking
literally
did.
like the game went ghost, right? They're like, no. Like they're like, we understand how bad. Wait, we see you, we hear you, and we're not just gonna patch this around you guys playing a game you're unhappy with. We're gonna shut this shit the fuck down, and we're gonna come back when we're ready.
Yep.
Right? So there's been some very different and interesting there's been more than one way that these games have kind of revived, but I think the one that's the most interesting study to me is Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Because that game was shitty at launch for different reasons than all of these other games were shitty at launch.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Right? So you think about Final Fantasy 14, Fallout 76, Cyberpunk, No Man's Sky, technical fucking disasters.
Yeah.
Right? From
Yeah.
fucking top to bottom. They all just didn't do what they were supposed to do from a gameplay standpoint, right? They did not meet presentation expectations. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront 2, the gameplay loop from the first one was perfectly intact. Everybody was at least mildly happy with it enough that we were getting a second one. But this game was so insanely fucking monetized that they had to fucking that it was so pay to win that the community was just like, fuck you. We're going to go play Battlefield 1 until you guys literally remove this shit. And they had to, the game has no monetization anymore. They literally had to pull an entire system from the game to appease the player base to bring people back to this game, right? So there's for lack of a better phrase, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? From this perspective, right?
Yeah. Oh,
you can't these games. It's a phrase. I know.
I know. Oh fuck!
Right.
Me,
so
man.
these games can kind of come back from all sorts of different slow deaths, right? Technical issues, bad launches, not being able to meet launch expectations. Fallout 76, as far as it did what they wanted it to do, they literally were just like, yeah, this is the game we want to sell you. No NPCs or nothing. And everybody was just like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. They genuinely thought that was a good idea when they launched, because they were selling it with the perspective that it was going to be a player-driven game, and it just didn't work. So they had to completely redo the game's ecosystem, right? I could go on and on. It's so interesting to me how all of these games had very different problems, and we're on the brink of just being shut down. Like Anthem 2.0 pulled the plug, right?
Yep.
But they subverted that, and they all came back. And now and I'm gonna play devil's advocate just a little bit, right? Because if Cyberpunk didn't release the way it did, we wouldn't have the 2.0 and the Phantom Liberty that we're experiencing now. And we can't guarantee, right, that if we let have just cooked 1 or 2 years that we would have gotten the same game that we're happy with now, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm very happy with 2.0.
Me too.
And I'm very happy with Cyberpunk, and I'm very happy with the state of the game. I'm definitely in the same boat as DJ. I will forgive, absolutely not forget. Absolutely. Right? Go ahead, DJ, go ahead.
I was gonna add I was gonna say, in response to that, I was like, I'm upset because if they can do it, if 2.0 exists, Phantom Liberty exists.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Current No Man's Sky exists. This is things that we can tangibly have. So, so we know they have the ability to do it. I just wish they did it then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what I meant when I'm give it another. If we gave it another year or two, I can't guarantee that, of course, but if they can make this, if it's possible, then it should be made. You know what I mean?
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I actually still think your point, your original point, is super valid. But I do have another point I kind of want to point out that just from my perspective.
He's heavy devil's advocate here. I like it. Go ahead.
I am just a little bit, right? Just because I like to
It's not.
I know
simple.
it's not.
It's not simple.
I know it's not consumer health. I know it's not necessarily a consumer healthy perspective. I do understand that, right? That if I understand that I am on occasion that gamer that is happy and I'm willing to nom the shit because I know it has the potential, right? I did it with Anthem. I've done it with a couple of other games, and I'm willing to die on that hill, right? Redfall, that wasn't one of those
No.
fucking cases.
No, we tried, man.
I wasn't willing to die on that hill. Now, do they say they're still saying they're going to fix this shit, and I'll see it when I believe it, right?
Yeah.
But also, right, like how many, it took years for like lots of these games to get that redemption piece.
Oh my god, CS:GO, right? Like Jesus
Right?
Christ, that game took
And
a while.
specifically, maybe not so much so with some of these other games. Probably Final Fantasy 14, maybe a little more so. And actually, yeah, no, I would say this does apply for the most part. Is that they've had a few years to kind of cook on this, right? To be able to bring up thing, and we're getting to a point where gaming technology is progressing really quickly, and
Sure.
So say Cyberpunk launched when it did, right? In the state it did. But in that time between Cyberpunk's original launch and 2.0 and Phantom Liberty releasing today, now technology has had the opportunity to catch up with creative and artistic vision, and it's now more doable for the devs. It's now easier for them to craft around their original vision, because you have to like take into account like these. It's all, everything's up here, right? Like it's intellectual property, and they're crafting around. They're trying to craft an original video game IP around a tabletop, around an existing tabletop RPG that has very, very detailed and constringent like world details, and they have to be able to fit as much of that as humanly possible into this video game and make it make sense. It feels smooth and playable, etc., etc., right? Which is why like the biggest case in point I would say for this argument anyways would be like the police system, right? The police system is far more advanced now than it was in the release date of the game. And the police system, like there was a police system and it kind of did the thing and it made sense, and like you weren't pursued in like that GTA style. But now this feels like it's elevated even above like what GTA's like police system is, right? Like these guys form roadblocks. These guys use advanced tactics. They have different sorts of like, they will pursue you with different sorts of vehicles and use different sorts of like routes, because the AI has advanced to be able to make it so they can develop that now. Or as say when in 2019 when the game released, it maybe that was possible, right? Maybe they didn't have that technology to be able to advance that game, right? Or like from the perspective of Fallout 76, right? Like maybe it took them as long as they did to implement those NPCs, because like implementing those NPCs in great number using the dog water freaking engine that they've used for the other Fallout games, and being able to design it to incorporate that plus 40 other moving player bodies at all time. Maybe the technology wasn't there, and that 2 or 3 years after development, when that patch got released, technology was finally there, and they were able to combine their artistic and creative vision with the now matching technology to be able to give us the product that we're now playing and enjoying. Now, do I think that's not a get out of jail free card, right? That's not necessarily an excuse, right? Because we do have other examples where like Star Wars Battlefront 2 had a horrible launch because EA was disgusting and greedy. Yeah. They saw a cash cow and it killed an entire player. The game was so heavily monetized that people were just like, it feels disgusting to play this, and we just don't want to do it, right? They literally drove their player base away because it fucking wasn't fun.
Yeah. Right.
It wasn't fun, right? And so like, but these other games like No Man's Sky, like right, like at launch, like it was a buggy disaster. It didn't deliver. There was weird hiccups, but like you could still find fun in that experience, right? And so I just think it's kind of interesting, right? Like, but to answer and circle back to your original question with like all of this kind of taken into perspective, right? These industries have now like seen that they have the ability to do that, and they're also looking at it from a perspective, well, like this gives us the breathing room to release it in X state, let technology catch up while we know it's advancing to be able to do this DLC, this expansion, this patch in the future, to be able to bring it up to our original vision, which is exactly what CD Projekt Red did. That's how they marketed this. They were like, this is closer to the original vision we wanted to present to players, right? But now it's AAA publishers now understand wholeheartedly that there is, for the most part, a large player base that will nom the shit and wait for a patch to come out. A lot of players will do it, right? You see it all the time, right? Like Halo Infinite got released in fucking chunks, dude. It didn't even release as a whole ass game.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Halo 3 got released that way? Everybody would have lost their fucking mind.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, by the way, they're like, here's your Halo campaign. The multiplayer's not done that though. You have to go back to GameStop and pick up another disc in 6 months. That would be unacceptable.
Yeah.
Beyond measure, right? But then the digital era of gaming happened.
Yeah.
And now everything can be done OTA. Everything can be done over the air. Everything can be done with time behind a screen and a team completely dark. I think what's going to be more important in my personal opinion in the future than releasing games in a completed state, because I just simply don't see that changing, and it's going to have nothing to do with developers and everything to do with investors and publishers pushing for releases. What I think is going to be more important is these developers being transparent with their day one launch communication and have a motherfucking roadmap. Be honest and open with your community about the state of your game. Because guess what? We've already, like, the player base has already, for the most part, decided that they're willing to be patient with you. And that increases exponentially when you do it with honesty and transparency, which was CD Projekt Red's biggest mistake.
Yeah.
They weren't honest and they weren't transparent, right? And it hurt them. It killed their player base. That, like DJ said, there's people that won't play this game ever again because of that initial experience, right? Because first impressions are their lasting, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you on the flip side, you have these games that I have seen. A perfect example is right now that I'm following is Warhammer 40K Darktide. So this game got released, got put out on Game Pass, and its relaunch was so shitty, you guys, that the Xbox version still isn't available.
Damn.
It's been a year.
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
It's been a year. And now on October 4th, it's finally going to release, right? But 2 months after that game launched, Fat Shark was just like, we need to stop and take a moment to apologize because we realize that we've hurt you guys as players, that we did not live up to your expectations as Warhammer fans, as fans of Fat Shark in our previous games, and we need to fix that. And then they made a detailed list and timeline, and they were just like, this is what we're going to do for you guys to show our loyalty to our player base to be able to give you guys a playable and fun game. I think that's what's going to be much more important in the future, because I don't see the state of launches changing, right? There's always going to be shining examples of what video games should be, like Baldur's Gate, the Spider-Man, God of War, Starfield, all these games that are releasing relatively bug-free, smooth launches. Those shining examples, those will always remain, but I think they're just going to do it. I think they're just going to be shining examples now, right? It's going to be the exemplarily, this is what video games are. But from your general run-of-the-mill AAA release, it's going to be more of we'll fix it with that day one patch. We'll work on it. We'll provide a roadmap for you guys. And that community transparency and honesty is going to be more important for developers going forward than releasing their games in a completed state, because I don't see it happening regularly enough to make a difference.
See, outside, I have probably 10 minutes to be able to kind of tie this off with a bow and chime in here. I have to push back. I have to push back on that. Okay. The idea of my imagination in a world in which a smooth, not buggy video game experience at launch is some rare gift from the gods above, and we should be appreciative of this game being the way that it should be. Like that is brain melting to me, and I know like you're gonna agree with me here. You're gonna agree with me here.
Whack? Isn't that
it's
whack?
just it's fucking insane because like here's the deal, right? There's a really good chance that you're right. There's a really good fucking chance that's exactly the direction that we're going to go. There's a couple things here. Is one, it is our responsibility to make sure that we're vocalizing how fucking stupid that is all the time. Like, we have to be vocal about voting with our wallet, communicating with the developers when we feel that they're kind of fucking up on things, right? And I don't mean directly. Don't go fucking tarnishing developers' Twitters and shit. Like, don't be fucking gross about it. But like we, especially us as critics, right? You guys as gamers, you guys as people at home that enjoy this art form, we should be vocal to an extent about whether or not we feel developers are fucking up. Because it's like, and not even just developers, I'm being very brash about that, but publishing companies, studios, generally speaking, the whole plethora, the whole fucking
engine
games
designers.
industry. Like when we get to a point when we are accepting mediocrity, and I mean mediocrity very brazenly too.
Broadly, right.
Yeah, extremely broad. When we start getting to a position where we have to just accept mediocrity from the $70 price point that we're now paying for video games and $500 price points that we're paying for consoles to play on these video games, right? Like, there's an expectation to be had. And it is not what we got from Cyberpunk originally. It is not what we got from No Man's Sky on day one, because I bought No Man's Sky on day one. And the
Me too.
massive disappointment in my heart when I realized it was just Minecraft in space fucked me up real bad, because that was my first big, real deep dive into being disappointed by a game's video game release. Like, release night I played this fucking game, and that was probably the most disheartened I've ever been.
100% agree.
We can't accept that. Now, that's our responsibility. It is the games industry responsibility to not accept it, to not allow themselves to lower themselves for any reason whatsoever. Like, if your game comes out and you run into some problems that you're like, fuck, we couldn't have foreseen that, right? Server issues. That's something you can't really know until you jump in, you do release, and realize that your servers are fucking overloaded. There's nothing you can fucking do about that besides beta testing like fucking crazy. And unfortunately, a lot of studios can't afford to beta test. They can't. They just can't. And that's reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
So when you go into release day and your servers don't work, cool. Like, I get it. It's frustrating as a gamer. We want to play it. We paid the money for it. We want to play it now. That's an issue that we need to discuss as consumers. Like, that's a whole other conversation for a whole other Gallows headlining segment. But in this case, like, in terms of games being incomplete, looking fucking awful, not having content present, being pay to win like fucking crazy. Like, there's many fucking examples, just not being the game that we're paying for, right? It's like DJ gave the example of some episodes ago of like a dinner at a restaurant. You go to a restaurant, and when I pay my fucking money to eat your food, I expect the whole fucking meal. Okay, I don't expect it to be perfect, but I do expect me to ask for a bean burrito with a side of rice and get my fucking rice with it, right? Like, that's what I expect. Okay, at the fucking bare minimum, that's what I expect. I don't always expect you to have the hot sauce with it. Like
$5.99 for sour cream and $5.99 for cheese and $5.99. Right? Don't fucking do that.
Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. It's just like, to me, it feels like we are kind of giving a little bit more leniency here than these studios and companies honestly fucking deserve, because it's our fucking fault wholeheartedly that they're able to get away with this time and time again. And if our directive here is leading into a future in which we're paying $80 for a fucking game,
hell.
low fucking lord, when that happens, people are already fucking gambling around $70 fucking dollars, as if we weren't paying
70, man.
As if we weren't paying $50 for a brand new game 20 years ago. It happens every fucking decade. It's nothing goddamn new, guys. Anyways, the point being that we have a responsibility of fucking creating a boundary here that says, listen, we love you guys. We love your art. We love your games. We want you to be successful. We want you to win. Because when you win, we win. And when we win, you fucking win, right? And so please, can we meet somewhere in the middle here that says, just finish your fucking game. I can wait 2 more years to experience your game for the first fucking time. Okay? Like, you know, like those like relationship situations when you're like, right person, wrong time, that sort of fucking thing, which I don't necessarily fucking believe, right? But like, like you have that like moment you realize, oh, like we're great together, but maybe if it was 8 years ago, we probably wouldn't have been, because we're such dramatically different people now, fundamentally different people now, right? Just fucking wait. Just fucking wait. You know what I mean? Like, just like, it took Cyberpunk 3 years. 3 years, okay, to roll 2.0 out. And I can't speak for you fucking guys, but I can certainly say that I would have happily waited 3 more years to get this amazing fucking experience that I just experienced the other night. Because this was fucking rad. It was rad enough that it completely derailed me from Starfield. Completely derailed me from Starfield. I said, fuck Starfield. I got Cyberpunk now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how good of an experience it is. And imagine if they would have just done that on fucking day one. You know what I mean? Just imagine if they did it on day one. Like, and then the server things, like Drac is talking about, now I have to push back on the server thing. The truth is you can overbuild and optimize the servers way ahead of time. That's a fair fucking point, because me and Garrett can give you a perfect example. We loaded up an great indie game, The Evil Dead game, and had the cleanest multiplayer fucking experience we've ever had in our lives.
Nope. I came back to that fucking game months later and didn't have a single matchmaking problem.
And then we played Ghostbusters and we couldn't get it running at all.
And it was crossplay. So fuck you. That's not an excuse for shitty servers and matchmaking.
Thank you. Fucking Evil Dead developers give everybody else the goddamn tips. I just don't want us to sit here and fucking forgive this. Because it's I and I don't mean like the game. I don't mean like Cyber. I don't mean the CD Projekt Red. I'm saying, just generally speaking, we have to fucking be willing to say something, man. Garrick.
So, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. The problem is, dude, is like nobody is willing to do like the right thing the right way when it comes to this particular topic. I have seen one of two things. Everybody is the complacent, like, it's fine, I love you guys, I trust you, you'll fix it. Or like, I'm going to come to your house and like kill your family because I purchased this game. Right. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, you guys can't find... There's a lot of middle ground in between those fucking two things.
A lot of things. There's a lot of things you can do. Like literally.
It seems so often, at least, especially like from the outside looking in lately, because I'm not super vocal about those kinds of things, like on like my social media platforms.
Sure.
Like, but I feel like that's where it's the most loud, is social media. And like, it's the opposing diametrics on like continued development versus like like release it in a like completed state is so heinously freaking toxic that like we're literally like everybody's losing because we can't do what you just suggested and be like, hey, professionally, we love you guys, but also, what the fuck did you just make me eat?
Yeah, I
Right?
mean, like, listen,
right?
if I fuck up with my partner, I expect my partner to vocalize to me that I fucked up. Doesn't have to be
Right, you still
rude
love them.
or fucked up. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no love lost there. It's just a matter of like, in order for anything to get fixed, you have to vocalize the problem. You have to be able to admit that there's a fucking issue here. You fucked up. Okay, you fucked up. It's okay to
Yes.
fuck up, but you fucked up. And in order for anything to be better going forward, you have to acknowledge the fact that you fucked up. And we're going to do this together. We're going to work on this together here, okay? You fucked up. I forgive you. Now let's do better next time in the future, right? Let's not do the same thing and then gaslight me into thinking like, this is fine, this is acceptable. I will totally pay $70 for a game that I'm only gonna play 3 times in 5 years. Like what the fuck are we thinking that it's acceptable for us to pay a down payment on a game that we're gonna play for 40 hours over the course of a 10-year window? How is that okay to us? Imagine paying for a fucking car, and it's not a good car. It will be, though.
Right,
Like,
dude. Oh, dude, and that doesn't even like factor in the whole pre-order conversation around shit like this, right? Which is that's its own fucking the pre-order conversation is its own conversation.
A whole other podcast episode for that one, but
right, but like you could easily like we could have a conversation of like around pre-orders and shit like this, right? Like, come on, like you're taking other people's money in advance and not fucking delivering on what you guys are like. That's right. But I digress.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Hey, I just want games to do better. You know, I'm sure you guys agree. I just want games to fucking do better, man. Amen. I just want this industry to fucking do better, and that's all we can, you know, truly ever hopefully fucking wish for. But you know what is just as good as the industry doing better? Our schedule for the rest of this week. So we have Thursday. We're hitting you guys with another Shipwreck show. And if you guys are following us, in our Discord, and also subscribe to us on Twitch, you can write in your question to the show in our Shipwreck submissions channel in our Discord, and ask us anything that you want. And we will give you the best, worst answer we can possibly think of to answer live on the Shipwreck show in order for you to be a part of the content as well. Give us a question. We pick the ones that we think will make the best content, and we answer them terribly. It's going to be a good time. Come in and hang out with us. And then Friday, we have another GK Plays, aka Splash Damage, our gameplay streams for the week, where DJ and Garrick are playing Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. That's right.
Give me a banger.
DJ is going to be coming in here hot, and Garrick is going to be sitting ringside with our boy to make sure everything goes by smoothly and watching as we sort of see Daddy Idris. Daddy Idris just out here. I'm so excited.
It's going to be so sick. He's so sick.
He's fucking sick in everything he fucking does. That's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time on Friday. And then this Saturday, we have another good Kraken podcast where we are going to be doing The Creator review. That is the new hit sci-fi action movie that is coming out, and it is going to be dope. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to talk about that movie.
I really hope that's good. Like, I'm very curious to see like what your guys' review on it's going to be, because I'm like, I want to see it. I'm definitely interested, but I'm like, yeah, on it.
Well, you will find out on Saturday, my friend, at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, over here at twitch.tv. So that's a good Kraken show for you guys. Guys, please let us know your thoughts and feelings on video games coming back, doing comebacks for their initial terrible launches, all things considered. Please let us know if you're feeling pretty good about Cyberpunk, if you're enjoying the new Cyberpunk 2.0 update. Let us know on Twitter. Let us know on our Discord. We want to hear from you guys. In the meantime, though, this has been the Good Kraken Podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. right here at twitch.tv. patreon.com/GoodKrakenShow. If you enjoy the show, you can head on over to our Discord channel where you can submit questions and topics, get exclusive content, and soon have early access to episodes before they go live on podcasts and video services across the digital sea.
Yerg.
Yarg. You can also support us by going to our YouTube channel, clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. We have to get going, everybody. But until next time, my friends, holy fuck, Cyberpunk 2.0, man.
My light turned off on
Yeah, I
accident.
did. I saw that. I was like, oh, fuck, DJ's dying, dude. He's dying tonight. DJ's dead.
Yeah, I thought my PC was to turn off. I was like, no way. No way. I just did that.
Oh my god, DJ just goes black. His lights turn off, goes
Yeah.
black, comes back. He's dead. It's just him hanging from.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a ghost. Ooh.
Ooh, the ghost of DJ Pass. Bye, guys.